They have the #1 adjusted defense. Oh my goodness, how long was that from Cam Thomas?
Wow, shot that one, man. I think that came from right here in.
Quick double, Thomas. Got it, Cameron Thomas off to a terrific start. He's knocked down 6. And if you got a point for how far away, he'd have 10. Missed his first 3. Thomas. Oh my
Are you serious?
Cameron Thomas.
Are you serious? That range, are you kidding me? He's shooting that from Knoxville. He's not in Nashville. It's unbelievable.
Thomas finds a shot. He launches. Come on. That was from the other side of the logo C.
That wasn't real.
Herb Jones went.
Man, he does it attacking. He's always in attack mode, and he's just a great team player. He's a coach's dream.
They left Thomas open that time, and that one off the iron. Alex.
He made that great spin, but he went right into the defense.
Cam Thomas started out on fire, knocking down 3s. How about the turnaround shot that goes off the iron? Not a good shot. Days. LeBlanc sends Herbert Jones to the ground. And here comes Thomas. Penetrates. Petty got the block as he came back to defend. Shackelford decides to go all the way. He missed, and here's Thomas on a run out with Petty to defend. Thomas the finger roll, and it is 32-28.
Well, right here in this first half to be where they're at, because the big 3 has been very productive.
Thomas just eaten up by Gary, but Watford is there, and he now has
third man made it on that sideline. He only cares about one thing. He's not thinking about all the wins and all the great moments they've had within the regular season title. He wants today. You can feel it. You can feel his passion and how animated.
Watford finds a cutting Thomas. He was swallowed up by 3 tied. They give it back, and it's foul called, and now a turnover for Alabama.
I think they missed one right there. I think Will Wade should have a legit argument there. He got fouled on that play.
Herb recovered.
Tournament basketball in March. He noted the consistency of the officiating and credited SEC head of officials Mike Eads' leadership. He said, "This is what you want. Players to make plays in March. You don't want ticky-tack."
Reese held his ground, and the way it's going for Watford, it falls through.
He just has an uncanny way of making sure he gets that shot off. Stakes.
Petty had that ball off.
That's a leader, man. That's a winner. That's why he's player of the year. And he was 4th on the team in scoring. Yet he's the player of the year in the SEC. Happened one other time.
Misses the layup, and he and Watford battle for it. Doug Shaw says we're keeping it here. Keon Ellis looks for a lane. He kicks Quinterly. He is wide open. Not good there. Jones battles. Days comes down with it and keeps it in bounds. Senate comes up short. Chance for LSU to tie or grab the lead.
Yeah, he lost his footing on the goal drive there in the goal.
That ball deflected by Ellis, who throws it ahead. Petty runs it down.
LSU will drag Connor Vanover away from the rim with the shooting ability of Darius Days.
Cam Thomas's legs buckled underneath him. He stuck with it, threw it up, couldn't get it to go, grabbed his rebound. Vanover came over to slap it away.
If you don't compete with Ella,
Can stroke the 3, and that one doesn't drop for him. Cam Thomas flow by, and he goes to the right hand and gets it to go. This guy is an absolute.
Buffalo wanted that early in the possession.
Cam Thomas gets the switch he wants. He launches from way outside and knocks it down.
Future with the foundation.
Agreed, and that's off the court. On the court, as good as any conference in the country. Note hit another one. Thomas fires, and some good defense that time as Desi Sills is in it to go. Josh LeBlanc into the game for LSU. Wide open Cam Thomas. He got hit. He got a chance for it. Too strong with it. Thomas with a left. Access denied by Smith. And here comes the Hogs. And let 1 or 2 guys shoot threes and they'd be comfortable with it. Thomas underneath the basket. Couldn't get it to go. Downhill take. Henderson may have got a piece of that. 16 points. He's now in double figures with 10, and Arkansas leads by 3. Cam Thomas, the runner, too strong. Offensive rebound.
And comes out of the state of Arkansas. And Eric Musselman understands it, and he has embraced it well.
Not afraid to use a prop either to get a point across. You know, whether it's a UPS uniform for a Fayetteville and the ability to relate to the student. He just relates to basketball players really well. He does. With his dad, the former NBA coach.
Devo Davis on Cameron Thomas.
Very different. Much more deliberate offense. Drive the ball for Arkansas. Knocked away.
Good job by Smith not to foul Cameron Thomas. Talked about in the first half. Good look.
It was, but it's short year in and year out. I know Dick Vitale did in the first game. You want to tip your hat to Greg Sankey, all the administrators that work for these schools and their basketball programs to navigate through this season and culminate 18-2 run the last 5 minutes. Watford double teamed.
Same game, ISO game. Are you going to double? If you do, he'll pick you apart as a passer. And he still, to this day, does a 90-minute individual workout outside of the normal practice time. That's how you get better. Got to mean something to you. Put in the work.
Half minutes to cut this 10-point lead down to none. Or it'll be Alabama and LSU tomorrow. Moody got his guy up in the air and then took too long to shoot it. He benefits from Smith.
Those calls. But Coach Martin didn't like that one, but that could turn out to be a big call. If Drew Smith picks up a second one early, watch out.
And Thomas does that at such a high rate. He's averaged more than 16 a game. Boy, Mark Smith got his hand caught, it looked like on the net on the way up. Thomas scores it. Difficult shot. And he's got one more.
Allows Missouri to have that rotation and stay fresh down the stretch where they're 6-1 now in these close games.
That's Thomas starting to get going early. An empty possession. Here's Thomas. On a step back. Oh, sweet looking stroke today. Thomas calls for the screen. Now it's Mitchell Smith. Gives him a look. Step back. Deep three. Oh, nobody boxed up. These two could see each other next Friday in Nashville. Maybe round 1 today. Nope. Wave it off. Providing that motivating edge for the postseason for Missouri and his teammates. Thomas, it's been brilliant so far, but he misses that one. Watson, way out to mark up Thomas. Into the paint, lays it up, no. 3 seconds, Torrance Watson.
Player, just a sophomore from Missouri. Bright future here.
And 3 straight games in double figures before scoring just 2 on Wednesday. There's the turnaround from Cam Thomas, just splash again.
Who's on the snub list, though?
Well, that's what an off-brand comment from the leader of the show here. How'd you phrase it before? Jeez.
Smartest leader, whatever you want to go with.
We'll have our all-freshman team.
Happens or what the path will be. We don't know the seeding yet, but it would not surprise me when people say expect the unexpected, and if all of a sudden A&M, which has essentially had like half of a season with all the disruptions.
Watson, no.
All day long if you're Will Wade and the LSU Tigers.
Even still, it's Missouri by 1. Dane, high level.
Man in this lineup, 4 scores on the floor for Will Wade's squad.
4 guys that play a lot of minutes. All 4 average over 30 minutes, and the hot start continued. They've won 2 of their last 5. That may not sound like a big number, but it is. You can get a couple wins
get some confidence going for your young team. And without Dessou and without Pippen Jr., we'll see if they can match the performance.
Vandy closed Stack's first year. Won their last 2 regular season games heading into the the SEC tournament. Another bucket for Cameron Thomas. Evans is no good. Evans had been hot from deep. 17 makes from 3 over his last 6 games. Thomas. And Days fought play his junior year until some other guys kind of fell out of favor. And then he ends up starting for one of the best teams in the SEC. And he said, I wish kids would just understand. And since it's our last game of the season together, I will ask you this on air. Didn't you have a free throw stretch at South Carolina inside Colonial Life Arena?
It was at Florida. It was the team as they travel. You play tonight, and then they're going to go play at Cincinnati on Thursday. It's an amazing schedule to think you do that. And then on the road again at Ole Miss on Saturday. It'd have been interesting to see what his response would have been to why and what was the thought process into it.
Other teams, I think, have had opportunities. Oh, Cam Thomas falling down, took a shot to the head, and still.
I think I'd rather get on a plane and a bus and go play a game.
Yeah. Thomas trying to follow up his Ole Miss. Hyatt tracks it down. Involving flashes at the top of it. And by the time Pistol Pete made the basket to break Oscar Robertson's record, Brady was all out of flash. Good LSU defense again, saved along the baseline by Mwani Wilkinson. Here's Thomas off the back rim. He's not.
Season, and they thought he might be. Struggled early, kind of early with his confidence. I remember having Vanderbilt in December, and you know, he just probably put too much pressure on himself to be.
Wilkinson finds it, saves it. Watford numbers for LSU. They got 4 on 2. And Thomas for 3.
They feel like they're going to make a 3-point shot, right? That's a higher level of let me just say ego, right? Higher level of ego. That I'm going to stop.
That they. Let's phrase it properly. I think they overestimate the ability of pros to pick things up without a full court.
Well, and I like to pressure, Tom, because it keeps your team active. It keeps your young guys engaged. I thought the first half they were a little slow of foot, half step behind, kind of got back defensively, zoned a little.
We want Parker chant has started with more than 2 minutes left. Parker Edwards on the walk on to get in the game. Thomas forced that one into traffic. Down by 12 now, minute 14 to play.
Going back to what I love what Stack has done, they've stayed in the full court press all second half and tried to just keep the activity high. And they
waste no time, and you look at the starting lineups by Farm Rich, and LSU comes out with a nice crew as well.
Javonte Smart not listed because he will not play in this contest for LSU. Will Wade tells us he
bounce per game.
Garvin, one of many D1 transfers on this Colonel roster, started his college career at Charlotte. The step back for Thomas, 2 and a foul.
Is continuing to improve the shot as well from behind the three-point line.
Thomas off the mark that
time. Well, Coach Will Wade likes to yell anyway. He is an intense individual. Very intense and passionate.
Another step back for Thomas, and he drains this one.
Woo! Well, we said that 6 feet that leads his team at all times.
That three-pointer was almost for Metairie. And Thomas already in double figures.
Well, listen, this is the type of game that we're accustomed to.
Thomas.
Easy like Sunday morning. Wow. Love the timeout called by Nichols. This game's getting away from him very early.
What layup? Jones has been active on both ends. Again, Austin Klon's telling us he's really looking for more from this young man. Just played in 2 games out on the West Coast and only average finished 4th in the Southland. Stephen F. Austin picked first, but they've had an up and down non-conference slate so far and a couple of stoppages due to COVID-19. On the lob, Najee Garvin has the second field goal.
Yeah, it's not important enough for them to complete the defensive trip because they're so good offensively.
Josh LeBlanc, senior, skies to get the offensive board. After the 8th Nichols turnover, Thomas to the rim. Save LeBlanc. Days fell.
You know, the best thing that I'm looking at, Dave, when I saw Cam Thomas.
And quickly on the other end, Colonels cut it to 8. Will Wade wanted to charge. Jones on the other end after getting the bucket. Steals the ball away. Jones catches up to the pass, and then the instant Euro step to cut the deficit to 4.
Beautiful. Love the battle. You can tell Nichols is excited to play. Good energy.
All activities due to COVID-19. Cam Thomas for 3, and this ties LSU's biggest lead.
So many good freshmen in the country, and you remember when they...
Johnny Jones reunion. Now the head coach of Texas Southern. Longtime assistant and then head coach here, but they had to back out on Thursday. Buford off the mark.
Games. I'm sure it's good to see him pick up where he left off from last year.
Thomas now 8 of 16 from the floor.
Pretty good, isn't it?
23 points. We still have 16 minutes.
The teams didn't even play much of a non-conference schedule, but they have to show progress and improvement during league play.
Kentucky was to get conference play started against South Carolina in a few days, but the Gamecocks have fought.
10,000 fans. I think the Tide fans will be swarming the Texas area.
You make a good point about Brian Kelly, what he's done with that Notre Dame program, and that is one of the best programs in the nation now in Darius days.
Yeah, and right now, believe it or not, the defense is actually turning up for both of these teams. And the reason why is because that clock is ticking. And so as the...
Looked like Cook touched it last. Still will be Nichols basketball. Will Wade disagrees. I think Pat Adams had a better angle.
Pat Adams said, talk to the hand, coach, talk to the hand.
B. Burdette, Jason Baker, Pat Adams, the officials for this SEC on ESPN game. Thomas in the lane, and he was able to get it underneath the arm of Vanover.
Yeah, he is. Yes, that first half, Ravi, that first half timeout by a coach, it's just a gut call. Like, when do you know your guys need it the most?
Tough shot, Cameron Thomas. Good job. Thomas steps right into a 3, and that's off from the 5-star recruit out of Oak Hill.
Good job, the team in purple, limiting Arkansas to 1.
Well, you got a good feel for it. 13-7 right now. LSU winning the battle of the boards. There's some contact in the paint, and that shot is up and good.
Wild Musselman to digest right now on the fly without getting to see it.
Here's Thomas, and that's contact, and he makes it again. Boy, gee, Cameron Thomas and his strength. Thomas fade away. That's a layup for him. And Jimmy, and when they penetrate, you got guys cutting from both in and out for Javante. They pull with an 8. How about the offensive work there? And now a wide open 3 for Thomas. That's off.
Yeah, his overall game in terms of offensively not making shots, but their defense has tightened up, not allowing those drives like they were the first 5 or 6 minutes.
Cam Thomas, man, you can bang him and he settles down. Even
first half to win on the road. Can they sustain it? That's always the question mark with LSU.
Like to see Darius Days get going. Instead, it's Thomas who launches, and he is on fire. 15 points for... Tough shot, Cam Thomas. Oh, he buried it. Cameron Thomas, 18, and he is...
Musselman puts Devo Davis on Cam Thomas now. Freshman on freshman. Good job by Davis to move his feet, not foul. Really well attacked. LSU got what they deserved on that play, and Will Wade will say the same thing. You always have someone responsible for stepping in front of the shooter, holding that position until you secure the rebound. LSU didn't do it. And LSU would be number 5. No Missouri, no Tennessee.
Moody lost it and walked. No LSU, no Tennessee. So interesting. That tournament's going to be a player.
Well, he has 3 fouls today, so it's kind of limited the amount of time that Jalen Tate has been on the floor. When I was running this morning, I was thinking, if I had to take one guy with basketball, play it like Lon Kruger. Tough. I mean, give me another word for tough. Get Farnham on that one, because that's what Lon Kruger was. And still
aggressive. And aggressive. Free throw line.
A lot of momentum right now with this Arkansas team.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because they do so many things so well. Was so good. Okay. Could Gonzaga have held up in that game? Absolutely. Could Baylor? Yes, going into the COVID pause that they had, but I have not seen that yet coming out. We'll have time of the year is just as important as any stat you're studying and trying to break down. Are your guys still alive? Are they still electric? Are they enjoying one another? Can you throw new things at them? And let's talk to the
person is, well, they're also giving them 15 points a game.
Yeah, this is a high-octane team in LSU. They can score for a variety of reasons. You mentioned the Big Four. They play them
Nothing doing, trying to go over the top of Days.
And when Georgia's playing its best and winning games, everybody else is contributing. They're shooting the basketball better. When they're losing,
there are gains on the floor for LSU. Offensive-minded guard. Here's Thomas. Shot clock winding down. 2 in front of him, and he puts up an air ball. Hit the end line. It'll go back to Georgia. It's tied for the Georgia lead early with 5. Thomas to the logo. Got a net. Nearly walked.
Well, when you mention those names, that's when Georgia plays well, when everybody contributes. And for LSU, it's the Cam Thomas show again. Last 3 ball games, shooting 60% from the field and averaging nearly 17 a game.
Thomas for 3. Cam Thomas for being a top scorer.
Eder has been able to get a lot of minutes the last 5 ball games because of the things he does on the defensive end. Moves the bat.
Thomas can be streaky. Made one a moment ago. See if he gets another one off. He will indeed.
And partner, it's
getting ready for the next level. Remember Cole Anthony at North Carolina had a leg injury, and there's thoughts that he was just going to shut it down. He's like, no, I'm here to play. And he came back and played for North Carolina, now with the Orlando.
Take a lot of shots, but there's have been some games where he shoots an extremely high percentage. And if he does that on the offensive end, this Georgia's a different team.
Cam Thomas left it short. Johnson from deep. Georgia just 3 of 16 from 3, yet up 13. Thomas was looking for a foul, didn't finish.
That's good defense.
They've been limited to almost half that in this half. Thomas changed direction, gets it to go, and then a quick whistle after. See if LSU can find a sense of urgency on the offensive end. Smart to Thomas, to the elbow. Yep.
Pretty patented move right there. He gets his. KD threw a wild pass that somehow got through, and Horn laid down and rolled it back to him. Still got a bucket.
Pinball League Play of the Year for sure. Thomas can't hit the short jump.
Tom Creedy. You see Tom Creedy shrugged his shoulder. He shrugged his shoulder.
Cam Thomas turnaround. I would go with Adams family. That was always a real good,
Today, history books that all the years they've been playing basketball at Georgia, all the great players, and the first triple-double ever. Who would fit in that in the middle of this pack this season? I mean, even in upper tier. I mean, Missouri would say, "God, we're not consistent night in, night out." So, can you find a way?
If you look at the triple-double list in the SEC record book, you run across Shaquille O'Neal's name again and again and again. He did it against Texas, LMU,
if you're a competitor, it doesn't. I mean, you're going. You're going. Like if you're Cam Thomas, you're going because what you think of, you rarely.
State is they have the athletes. Defensively, they were 14th in the nation last year in fouls. So they're very aggressive. They have to defend without fouling, but they had the athletes to at least compete with LSU. More energy out of LSU. We've seen a zone. Now we see some full court pressure that leads to a turnover.
Shot off the mark. We do not have stats available
above his years. I expect for him to step up tremendously in the absence of Trendon Wofford today.
Wofford out with an ankle injury. Suffered it a couple. He went 3 of 7. You and I were speaking French before the game, weren't we?
You can't tell all of our secrets, T-Hart.
Keep you guessing. It was a 107-65 win for Sam. Game on Wednesday as well. It's like trying to finish a puzzle, but you're missing multiple pieces. They have yet to all be together at any point this season. So while we talk,
your eyes are better than mine. It's pretty similar to the color of Sam Houston State's jerseys, though.
Games.
Well, the coach Hooten talked to us yesterday. He said that he felt like his team, even though they had been playing against opponents that weren't quite as good as you see Cam Thomas.
44% from the floor in this one for Sam Houston. Kate Thomas for 3. Deep 3.
To date, the teams who can win it, I still think Kentucky's going to be right there. And I'm doing that based on Coach Cal and his history and the talent that they have. Tennessee is there as well. Transaction that time on the offensive and defensive end. You see Javonte
it's a third
Smart.
on Javion May. Excuse me. Go ahead.
No, you're good.
LSU turnover. A little sloppy. Turnover number 16 for the Tigers.
Well, that's what I mean when I say they're still paid too, just to keep Sam Houston State's bench, keep them a little excited. You know, right now, Sam Houston State's getting enough stops to stay in this battle.
With 16, Bearcats get it inside quickly, off the mark. LSU has a chance to stretch this lead with 2:20 to play.
That's what I thought the Bearcats would have went to a little bit earlier.
That difference, Manning the bucket. Thrown right to LSU. Tigers 3-on-1. Lob!
Notice who has the Cam Thomas assignment. Devontae Shuler.
Thomas tried to get contact and now goes down, and he's big games for LSU. Non-contact injury. Looked like he's already off the side. We'll monitor that.
Cam Thomas, it's his first attempt. Teams met. He had 7 of 10 from deep. Thomas falling away. He is not shot. JT Thor had a big shooting night in Auburn's game at Kentucky on Saturday. Hit 5 of 6 from 3. Thomas, turnaround, got it. Missed the first one from the left side, drills.
He's just a naturally gifted scorer.
Thomas with the rebound. Freshman out of Chesapeake, Virginia, at Oak Hill, and he'll go to the line with a 3-point chance. Foul on Cambridge is his. Auburn started hot. Tigers have cooled down a bit. Here's Jamal Johnson. Rebounded by Smart. Different guys who can get it to the rim and get it in. It's a 19-4 LSU run. They've opened up a 10-point advantage. Back to the PMAC in 30 seconds. Thomas, first attempt of the half, picks up right where he left off from a competition standpoint.
Well, North Carolina did just add the Marquette game, another non-conference game midweek on Wednesday, about a couple hours ago. They added that Northeastern game this past Wednesday. 6 turnovers, 2 assists, averaging almost 9 assists a game. And a guy that usually makes the game easier for others has really struggled to do that, partially because of how LSU is defended at times. But
balls to the side. Vescovi, who LSU and Will Wade have nightmares over because his debut was against LSU, like his college debut. And
just watching Will Wade, Ravi, watch Will Wade when they got that defensive rebound. He's literally sprinting up the sidelines as far as he can to the 28-foot mark. It's that part of the core, because when the ball's on the side, Tennessee is so good, man, at overloading to the ball. LSU's best offense today could come for that middle third.
Ringer was open on the baseline.
Absolutely.
It'd be Drake 81-54 was the final in that game. Thomas, who's looking for his first basket, can't get that to go. So it's been the...
Yeah, Tennessee, terrific with their press breaker. One pass and go. Make your layups, make your free throws. Check the film. Determines the outcome of games.
Thomas hits a 3, looking for more. It's in the paint. 7 field goals or 3s. That's kind of the Alabama recipe for success. We go in the paint, at the rim, or 3s.
Cam Thomas, double up drag, dive and pop. Watford's your pop guy. Day's your dive guy.
Vescovi is got his arms all over Days. That's a
tall in the defensive efficiency ratings, but they can get hot for 5 or 6 minute stretches on this end of the floor about as well as anybody we have.
Thomas, he got hit. That's no good. Thought I heard a whistle, but I did not.
The officials are doing a good job of not going for that bait today.
Baseline, here he comes. That's an easy one for Thomas. Tennessee, Jimmy, they've had open 3 before that one falls.
Ravi, sometime the game determines what you have to do, and this may be a game that Tennessee takes 25, 26 threes. That's not who they are, but because
veteran players in the SEC, I think of Herb Jones, you think of Yves Pons, that have been banged up here over the course of the season. This is not COVID related in any way. It's just more of the
Nate Oates, Eric Musselman, Roll Tide, Go Hogs.
Separated at birth, Oates and Musselman. That we've established. They are the same people.
Tough shot, good shot, man.
That shot is on ESPN.
Guys, yay! A new phone's here. I switched to Spectrum Mobile. I'm saving money and I get 5G nationwide.
On baseline, out of bounds, under. Just to take away all that type of stuff, all that action that you spend so many minutes of your practice time preparing for out of bounds under situations from game to game. Look at the crowd again, man. All game long.
That's right. 3 guys around him. He had 3 guys around him on defense. Threw up an air ball. But if you get
stuff for you and send it after the game, because you're behind the time with that kindling that you were buying yesterday to start a real fire.
Days gets that to go. I just asked and you avoided the question.
Mississippi State star guard. So see if Mississippi State can't continue to take advantage of what could be a mismatch.
Thomas able to bank that one in. The freshman from Chesapeake, Virginia, who's Mississippi State right now on the outside looking in, but they do have opportunities, including tonight, to pick up some wins, and the floater is good for LSU. Boy, it would be big for LSU if they can compete on the glass against the best rebounding team in the SEC. Thomas inside, but no finish there from Javian Davis. Thomas on the counter, takes it himself, and one.
Thomas takes it himself. Just got to have a sense of urgency and corral those.
Watford got it back. It's a bit of a scramble. Thomas will try and clean it up, and he does with the deep 3. Mississippi State has cooled off now on the offensive end. Off the drive. Days will try and follow. The tip, no.
Against LSU.
Thomas Nice hesitation and the change of pace for the lay-in.
Hey.
Cam Thomas. Oh, another quick on the three look there for LSU. Put the Bulldogs back on top. After they had fallen behind by 7, Cam Thomas, oh, tough on the spin on the perimeter, hits it. Molinar. I think that might be the 3rd air ball of the night for Iverson. The quick counter the other way off the front iron from...
Gets the bump on Tolu Smith, who flops. And to me, I'm waiting for Tolu Smith to run down the court next to me and say, get your weight up, quit flopping, bet refs aren't going to bail you. Like, you can say that stuff under your breath. You don't drop the ball in his lap slump during the year. So it's nice to have some depth on your team to allow you to recover from it without feeling the burden and your team taking a bunch of losses.
Yeah, that win for Tennessee gets them to 7. And
get mad at his players for getting a tech, or something he said was overheard in the huddle. But they did call it on the bench, if I'm not mistaken, right? So it wasn't one particular player.
Yeah. Smart thought about it, passed on it. Thomas.
So many disruptions this year in college basketball, and SEC has seen their fair share. You mentioned Florida Gators, and you talk about adversity. They've dealt with COVID.
The story, of course, is the 24 points off of turnovers. Smart and company doing the job, getting out and running 24 fast break points.
So far, nobody has scored. We've played a minute and a half. In Baton Rouge tonight. Long triple up and good. Knocked home by Cameron Thomas. That's his 9th of LSU in purple. Points have been a little bit difficult to come by. A deep, deep three. On line, but a little bit long. That one, 8 points a game last year. He's one that Coach Keeper's going to need to really step up for that scoring and try to assist Caldwell and find some points. Isaiah Kirby went to the bench. That three-pointer improved dramatically. He was down in the low 50s and finished close to 70%. So all of that work certainly paid off, and he's a confident free throw shooter now. For a guy. The floater from 12 rolls, won't go. Rebound on the floor, rattles out. Javonte Smart tried it from distance. Tigers will have another opportunity. This for three, yes. Cameron Thomas behind the line here in the first half as LSU came in averaging 42% from deep. Another one up for three. Boy, they're really taking some quick shots. And especially, I can't produce lines, but at least I know who he is. I know the no, genre but I mean, do you have a stanza you could just belt out here? I would ask you if you. Look at that put back there. Once again, there's that athleticism. I'd ask you if you have. He played at Odessa College and Bryant University before finding his way to Hammond. Watford wanted to shoot a three. He passes it off to Cameron Thomas, who now has 4 threes.
On your offensive possession. LSU's going to work it over to the wing. Head fake, step inside, shot high up, and it's in. Nailed from Cameron Thomas, one of the freshmen and a top recruit.
And nice to see Shamar Wright get his footing early in this one. He came on a little bit late in that first game.
Popping from the top of the key. It's a little short. Good rebound picked up by Darius Days. Now
that you want to see the intensity on the glass. If you pick up a foul, so be it. You have to bring the fight to this LSU team.
Three, top of the floor. Not going to fall. Cougar rebound starts a
team. They need him to step up on the offensive end to complement Sidney Wilson.
Mike Adewumi, you mentioned one of those guys that's kind of been around for a while for this Cougar team, as a shot falls short there, and a fantastic try on the look. Bang! Got it from the corner.
And that's a guy that I think has a really bright future, Desmond Polk.
And just like that, LSU with a quick response, or whoever else, that's just going to be growing pains early on in the year.
No doubt. I mean, you're not with all the bodies that you have for practice that you're used to having. Even tough to even go 5-on-5 in practice at times. Has been tremendous. 3 3-pointers for Polk now. 4 assists to go along with 10 points for Cam Williams.
LSU responds as they have all night. Cameron Thomas out of it, and a quick forced shot that's going to fall from Philip Pepple Jr. Transition game, easy money, and 2 more added on for Cameron Thomas and LSU.
How about Tom
Tremendously. Point blank range, it won't go for Watford. Gets his own rebound, kicks out a drive, and a floater nailed in by Thomas.
Boy, how impressive is Cameron Thomas? Every big fella, the 6'10" forward/center, showing off the hops.
Kind of an awkward catch as it ricocheted straight to his hips. He had to pull it down from low and go back often. Smart tries to get some separation, a little bit of a push off. Back to Thomas, fades away, throws up the mid-range shot, and it's short. Backward tonight, Thomas inside, steps out, had a beautiful lane, and the outlet pass down low. Now he gets it back, corner 3, falls to the floor, nothing there. Elusive thinking, what the heck is that? Well, it's a team that's got the LSU Tigers within 2 right now, and the OVC squad is trying to keep it going. That's going to help the Tigers quite a bit. Cameron Thomas, Valley Conference trail by a couple to the LSU Tigers of the SEC, the reigning 2018-2019 SEC champions. Long shot, rebound, on the way with 20 points. Trouble as the ball was picked up. Cam Williams trying to sprint back to get there in time, but he can't, and it's easy points For LSU, Cameron Thomas yet basket for two.
Boy, talk about vision. Carter saw that lane open and he went with the crossover, able to hit it hard. Good sell.
Thomas 2 steps in, 1 out, launches one, and it thought about it for a deal with here. The guy that's got the ball now, Cameron Thomas, that's dangerous hands if you're a Cougar fan. Strong take. Shamar Wright pulls in a rebound, and then he's pushed turnover. They forced 9 today. They haven't been able to turn much into points, though. Just 10 points off turnovers for SIUE. Wow! Underneath a defender, morphing his arms. The basket, he had Peppel down there who had Watford all over his back. Watford a drive, wide open for Thomas. That guy can't miss.
Game high 20
into today's game. Both of these teams weren't even on each other's schedule or radar before a week ago.
No doubt, SIUE thought they were taking on Youngstown State.
If you haven't seen this guy, he is terrific as a shooter. A little slump recently, but his first 3 games in the SEC, he averaged about 30. Follows his own block shot and lays it in. That's Cameron Thomas's effort. Away on a quick hands from Cameron Thomas.
Second turnover by Olivia Usar in this game. We haven't even played 3 minutes yet.
Thomas first shot way too strong. And Kentucky the run out. Brooks.
Ball 1 out of every 4 trips. That's a dadgum problem.
Gotcha. Another miss, so we're not seeing the red bracketology. He's got 2 3 seeds, Missouri, LSU, Florida, Arkansas. Obviously the name that's not there is Kentucky, and they certainly don't deserve to be there. But I tell you, Jimmy, a game or at least a start like this
against teams that do them no good, other than you just increase what your one loss record looks like. They need to be good teams, and there's 6 of them coming up, starting with LSU tonight. So really, just vision of the pass, the dunk spot.
A couple of great catches as Cam Thomas launches a 3, another one that misses, and Devin Askew picks up the rebound. Cameron Thomas still yet to get untracked. 2 of 7. He drives the lane. Tough floater. That's too strong. And body's on the ground. Nice play by Toffett. Watford kicks. Another chance. Thomas. That time he finds the bottom of the net.
He is all hard. Make sure you know where Cam Thomas is. Don't let him throw one in on you before the half.
Way back. 3 comes up short. It goes into Thomas's hands.
Will Wade right now defensively trying to figure out his best chance to get back in this ball game.
Thomas in the paint, floater. That's good. The first 4 of the second half go to LSU.
He's to get into a rotation to cause that kind of a problem.
Sarr was limited to 7 minutes in the first half. He picks up the foul here, so he's got 9 minutes played in the game and goes back to the bench. Brandon Boston saw the paint, into contact, and it's denied. 1-on-1, the take. Thomas, and he lays it in with his left hand. Ended up on the floor, but 2 of 3 from three-point land, 4 of 8 overall, 11 points for Boston. Thomas, that's way off, that an easy rebound for a couple of Wildcats. Strong, fights for his own rebound. Thomas, tough shot. That's way off. No foul. You heard Will Wade yell foul. And Kentucky helped LaPerry shoot that ball, Dante, and he just missed one. And a run out. Thomas, high arcing baseline, no good. 2 teams got arm or something.
I'm not opposed to it. Let me sleep on it.
Fair, who's played a good game with Sarr in foul trouble. Ware's got 7.
Yeah, and a good rugged rebound and a 2-hand rebound by Ware. Arms got above his, so he reaches underneath the defender and gets that thing up with a wrist. That's really well done.
Thomas needs it. No good.
To me, the SEC player, you are who your best player is. And it's been that way since the invention of basketball, Ravi. And if your best player is tough, competitive, selfless, vocal, mature,
then your team. Castleton, a couple of fouls for the Florida Gators. These are the 5 on the floor on each side. What's been your feel early here, Jim?
So far, John, the feel has been pretty similar in both ends of the floor. Both opportunities for us to take advantage of, and they did just then.
And Lewis has been guarding Watford, the point forward, who's been getting a lot of dimes to that man. Cam Thomas! How did he hit it?
Well, delivery just then, just a missed shot by Payne, but well positioned underneath.
Thomas, he loves to shoot from deep. Off target, not been a clean start for Thomas. Smart, it was a game-high 12. Appleby all over. The jumper and a whistle.
Into offensive transition buckets. They had 26 points in their last game out against Vandy on the road.
Thomas twisting, falling away. No, Castleton the board.
See competition, quite candidly. You know, these teams, keep in mind with COVID, a lot of them have not had continuing practices and continuous practices. You see Thomas come off that set for a shot. But they're up
2 fouls in the early stage of the contest. And Lewis fronting with his length. Thomas, he can shoot from anywhere.
Yeah, he'll step back on you, too.
And a one and done for Thomas. Gets a touch and a screen from Watford.
And notice how they're switching that up front on the perimeter.
Over Appleby. Rattle it down.
Good decision there, too, by Thomas. Just be patient type of game, John, to get him to touch on the blocks. Let him go to work there, but not. Now they'll set a screen down. There's a set play for Thomas to shoot the basketball from the right side of the floor. Very, very both teams like to use this matchup defense. And the pointing is generally the indicator after a cut.
Catch, release, Thomas over Castleton, no.
They're going to get their chances to get more opportunities. And a guy like DeRougie, obviously, talented player.
Only 4 to shoot. Thomas from deep. Air ball. Watford tried to playground it and delivers.
From nowhere, too. Man just read that play perfectly. Just waited, hesitated, saw his teammate in trouble.
There's Thomas. He can score a ton in a heartbeat. Watford wins.
Basket with it. Either or.
They've had only 2 assists since halftime. There's Watford feeding Thomas. Thomas floats it up.
Nice
off.
Rebound.
Wilkinson can't handle it.
That's why they have Scotty Lewis defending him right now.
There is Thomas. 3 ball. And Lewis gets the rebound.
You have to just play it straight up.
Appleby nearly took a tumble. Now Thomas steals it away. Thomas lays it home, and it's down to 4 with 30. They roll the entry to save some time. Watford for 3. Misfires. Thomas has it. He hoists and hits.
That's why he's so clutch as a freshman.
Late from the floor. Down 4.
Yeah, just stay away.
Thomas trying to lean into it. 3 ball off the horn, hits. Controls it for LSU as the Tigers win the tip. They immediately go inside and have it kicked out.
started out the game with a couple of threes. Can't get that to go. Jones hustles after it, but it's LSU, and they got a man Hyatt ahead of the field. And he lays it up and in. Andre Hyatt.
They've battled all year, and they've banged heads with each other.
I'm going to tell you right now, when you look right here in this game, LSU has stayed toe-to-toe with them the entire game. And coming
you because of Watford or Alabama because of Herb Jones, you have no shot of beating those two teams.
Drive and a good pass as he hung in the air and he found the cutter for its team. Nice pass underneath Henderson, and he throws it behind Smith. So things have gotten a little sloppy in the last few minutes. So is the defense. An easy one for Javonte Smart. It's twice now.
That's a jump ball. Possession arrow favors Missouri.
One issues now, all of a sudden one guy can practice, and maybe it's 4 guys, maybe it's 5 guys. Some can go 20 minutes, some 10. You don't get a good feel of what your team is and who your team is. So I think they just added a game for
Thomas. You saw the graphics, 21.5 points a game, second in the SEC behind Scottie Pippen Jr. from Vanderbilt. Tigers out with the first. LSU wasn't as good, but still solid, and Days continues his solid play in the second half.
Yeah, really love the way that he continues to step up his game. He will play somewhere after leaving LSU as well.
We met in Bud Walton Arena, so I thought it was only appropriate to ask her to marry me. About where that the eye is on that hog.
Yeah.
She said I do, and wow, history was made.
Never go wrong.
Solid presence. Lofton Jr. in that La Tech game pretty much did what he wanted to against LSU. So that's a concern if you face a quality big guy because they're limited in size.
Does LSU look hesitant on the offensive end to you? Well, Cameron Thomas isn't. Nice feed to Smart.
Starting lineup, though, they've only played 82 possessions this year, but 97 points, almost 1.2 points per possession for these 5 guys in orange.
Thomas, that's a 3, that's too long, and that leads to a run out for Tennessee. Springer to the hole, in and out.
Bringing up and still having the soft hands to go from covering up like a running back to delivering it softly. That's some unique stuff, man.
Vivian, he thought about it. Vescovi hung with him. You're right. You can see that.
I'm going to shoot it here again.
Nope, he gives it to Days. He splashes down a 3. Darius.
9 points, a couple of blocks in that South Carolina win. Watford off the fake, goes to the right, and uses the glass.
He's so good. When they play through him, really came on strong towards the end of last year. Had an epic performance at Kentucky. One that Tennessee fans will remember forever. He led the Vols in the road win you called in the overtime against Auburn, and usually that takes such an emotional toll. But here they are saying, hey, everybody, it wasn't just about a good week. We're ready to have a good season now. Watch out. To go with Tennessee. I think they are just as talented. It's just about chemistry and getting those things coming together, and that is the game to watch. You're right.
Springer had 30 in the win tonight.
For his 4th one, it does not go. Tigers on the move here. Contact, late pass low, and a lay-in by Watford. That pass, that's Blair Joe with his first triple. And the first one to hit one not named Katzvik. Katzvik has
in that
that first game. Popping from the top of the key. It's a little short. Good rebound picked up by Darius Days. Now he's going to fire from the corner. Days nails it for three in LSU. 92-79. Thomas inside the oop left up top, and it's flushed in from
that shot. Lewis misses point blank, and Thomas has the ball. Down 8, a little over a minute.
There you go, good
look. Nice feed, and Wilkinson dunks it home.
Now you really get into your aggressive defensive stance. Challenge.
I've seen in terms of number of different guys that can make plays. Jimmy Dykes, are they good enough defensively to make a deep run?
You know, Seth, here's the problem with their defense. The middle part of their defense, the half-court defense.
25 for Arkansas. Smith back on the floor. Allen kept that foot. Davis challenged by Days. No good.
And Tillman is getting harassed early on, down low. Close looks, but a lot of excellent defensive energy. There's Smith, and he takes the choice.
Than other teams at this level. It's certainly more complicated than what guys did on the high school level. Thomas had his heels on the line.
Yeah, and Tom, here's the challenge always
going away here, just like last year when they led at the half over LSU. Pollard, right place, right time to save the basketball, and still 15 to shoot. There's the ball over.
Yeah. He wasn't going to let numbers stop him on that play, was he? Well, listen, we asked Coach Will Wade about Cam Thomas, and the first word that came to his mind was score. Hall of Fame coach, and truly one of the best to ever do it. And I don't expect him to have his team or to allow his team to look forward, right? They have to take care of Notre Dame first. But on the other side, Coach Kelly.
With it, no whistle on the contact. But here come the Colonels and Gordon. Buford cuts it to 5.
They never fail to keep it interesting here.
Throw line just 2 of 9 from deep. Darius Days, front of the iron. Watford, good hustle. He battled and won it, and then Cam Thomas lost it.
Days has not made Arkansas pay for that drop coverage.
Watching this game, maybe he's over in his office. What do you think he's thinking watching LSU here this morning?
Well, he knows that LSU can get anything they want offensively. That's why Coach Hood talking about when he said we needed that summer. We needed that off season to get much further than we are right now. And as I mentioned earlier in the first half, he says that he thinks they're about 8 weeks behind.
Still a little bit baffled by this matchup. Maybe it said something different on your TV guide. Of course, Ole Miss was supposed to play South Carolina. LSU supposed to play Missouri. Both those teams battling COVID.
Not so quick for Tennessee to start this one. And Thomas, he ran into 2 Tennessee defenders and had nowhere to go.
I guess it's no surprise millions of customers are switching to Spectrum Mobile. Switch today with data plans starting at $14 a gig. Call 877-958-7146.
Hiya. Has been dismal from behind the line. Hopefully it won't change tonight for the LSU Tigers, but that's one of Will Wade's concerns is the way they defend the outside shot. Well, this starting lineup for LSU does contain a lot of firepower. Thomas, the fact that he's shooting better than 50% from the floor. That's taken away. And the layup, the floater from 12 rolls, won't go. Rebound on the floor and stolen by LSU and then taken back by the Lions. Well, it was great hustle there by Thomas to follow up the miss as it just rolled out.
Now it's Lamar Wright who wanted to, it looked like oop it originally. Changed his mind now in transition. It's a charge. No basket. It was made. It's waved up. Far side for Shamar Wright. Telegraph pass. Cameron Thomas has trouble with it at the basket. Would have been a wide open breakaway. Loses control. And it's out of bounds. LSU holds on to that.
This is unusual in the college game where you can get a 6'9" forward, plays the point forward, and you kind of slide back, so it reduces any type of pressure that you put on.
There is some pressure on Cam Thomas and the
position that he's making good decisions in terms of setting up his teammates.
Thomas been quiet for a while, had been on the bench some, sees the double and called for steps. So a few turnovers on Thomas. Offense is
Battles make one of the greatest shots ever in Indiana basketball to beat Kentucky.
Good pass, Rojas from behind. It's Thomas with a block. Moody, a little runner, that's too strong. He hasn't shot in a while, so he misses. And Henderson, we got a tie up underneath.
As the shot clock winds down, that's Gordon, and it's a 6-point game.
Nice jump shot, mid-range jump shot by Ty Gordon. You know, even though Nichols is still knocking down shots, they haven't continued to go.
No one did stop it, and he missed the layup. Second layup he's missed. Tate had a block from behind. May have been Thomas who got it.
Lucky to regain. Eric Gaines will run the offense for LSU. They move smart off the ball now.
To lead the Tide.
Not only today, yesterday as well. You know, Crowd, he's been a star. He's going to be a candidate for maybe
MVP on the third effort.
Wilkinson's given them some really good minutes, brought a ton of energy. 6 points.
Them and Auburn team, the list goes on and on, where Kentucky will be able to get quality wins.
In Florida, 3-1. Seriously.
LSU playing like they're up 15 when in fact it's Arkansas and they grab the rebound.
3 purple transition defense or half-court defense, all the same things we've said about LSU all season long, playing out now in the second half. And Ravi, I will tell you this.
That's a very nice entry pass and a good finish.
Here's last night for SIUE.
Meanwhile, LSU's trying to find a way to get some of their guys going. Trendon Watford just 2 points here in the second half. He's one of their stars and returning leading
and to be at the Billiken Classic.
Down to the final 20 seconds in this one. James looks in for Peppel and a good catch with a nice.
That big slap we heard, that I surmise.
Defensively, they've struggled. Alabama dominated them in their 2 meetings.
This is Herb Jones. You talked about him in the open. He finds Keon Ellis, who no one else is even close. Herb Jones thought about a 3, spins right into Watford. Can't get that to go, but another offensive.
Body really well, squared himself to the goal.
He's doing a little talking. You see Herb Jones grabbed him and threw him back to cover LeBlanc.
And right on cue, Justin Smith walks to check in.
Tell you who we haven't seen back in the game after, and it went right out of bounds off a Note.
You've got to slide over and get in front of that free throw shooter in a close ball game.
Can Ole Miss reach the SEC title game? If they did, I think they could get that 7th spot. Can Kentucky make a run? They had a 30-point.
You mentioned it, Tom, an Ole Miss team that had to win, and so it made them more impressive of a victory for this Vanderbilt squad.
It's very similar to how
on the road you've won 9 league games in a row, and you're going to a team like South Carolina hungry for a win, but domination.
Beautiful finish by
easy for certain guys that were great players to be able to communicate it to another level. But that's where he's been good so far at the levels he's coached at. This is the challenge.
Paul Thomas is a bulk shooter. Moses Moody, the leading scorer for Arkansas, is not that guy. Devo Davis, nice dish and an inside work.
He's really good at that 7-foot and down part of the floor.
There's Devo Davis, wide open. Hunting his shot, launches a long 3, and that's off the front of the iron. So Cam Thomas has gone a little cold here in the second half. A run out from Moody.
I was impressed.
Auburn's remaining schedule: Tennessee at home and at Alabama. Wheeler in the paint.
And Wheeler's playing through contact, getting to the rim, gets to the free throw line, top 5 in the nation in terms of free throw attempts, the most free throws made. But again,
was against LSU, like his college debut, And he lit up the Tigers in his first game. Nobody had really known who Santiago.
Yeah, the Rhinoceros, 55 in orange, and Anasicki, just 2 or 3 plays a game, just bullies people around the rim.
Alley-oop on the baseline, they missed that. This game is, you can just feel, we are seconds away from a Tennessee loud out.
For a third option.
Johnson, baseline, met at the rim, and there is the records. The Arkansas game, since it's at Arkansas, appears to be the most difficult, but you could easily suggest 3-1, those 4.
Absolutely. Cal's just going to continue to move that ball side to side, might run a set, if not, close it out with a ball screen late in the shot clock.
Takes at it, block, Brooks pick
on the glass. Slow start for both sides. Pump fake led to a look, but
production-wise, and obviously advantage LSU. So he's going to suck it up and play hard, but that doesn't mean his productivity is going to be there.
Don't let him switch on to you. Shackelford steps through.
Pauses, but there's Auburn. Best attendance.
And I think they're one of 6 in the country that hasn't had a game unless it's a long 2. And now Alabama's got a chance to push the other way with 3 back. Doesn't matter. Alabama's on a roll. That's Keon Ellis. Suddenly a 15-point Bama lead.
Watford fan, but you gotta be a little patient now. Christopher Porter now. That's a different type of grit tonight, but really in the Texas Tech game in the Big 12 SEC Challenge.
So you defend for 25 seconds on that possession, right? And you're scrambling, you're playing well, you create a tough 21. You had that a couple of years ago against Washington. Here's Savion Flagg. He just throws it up. Only twice this year has Texas A&M even gone over 80. They get to the logo there, and J.J. Chandler's
Darius days. There's high expectations for this LSU team, and to get beat, how they got beat was the story because of
Bryant to Levesque, and a tip in by Bryant. And Levesque.
Pete, all 3 times he came to Lexington. I think his lowest point total was 48, and the closest game in there.
And it's followed him in a successful way everywhere he's been.
Primo, Jones trailing, lays it up and in. See what they do this time. Off the glass. You know, Shackelford.
Coaches across the league is when you lose some of that energy from the fans, I think it's a benefit to the traveling team.
That was a play that Will Wade just put in last night. Drew up for his guys today. McClung. Long 2. Offensive board, and then a block by Wilkinson.
See, and bad loss opportunities for the Big 12. But over the past 4 years, it's been neck and neck. And I think you've got to contest the shot and try to make it difficult, but he's so good at drawing that foul the closer you get.
Beard yelling stance at his guy. Smart.
Pulled the chair, the old school pull the chair type defense caused Watford to get off balance.
Shannon was wide open and said it's Edwards. Second half by Vandy. They've scored 41 points after only 24 in the first half. Studi.
Got that play up, get on top of him. If he back cuts and makes it 2, so be it. But you cannot let him run into a handoff 3. Usually.
Reverse course. They have lost 4 of their last 5, albeit against very tough competition. Their scoring has faltered.
Event, whether it be shooting the basketball and then you see the ability to explode and get to the rim.
James off a screen, back to Cam, bang, another one.
The bad news is that you have LSU playing like the LSU of old, which is scoring at a high clip.
Allowing just 64 points a game. Opponents shoot 44% from the field. Boy, look at the drought clock on the right-hand part of your screen there. We're closing in on 6 minutes.
Themselves.
And we wish Frank the best to another speedy recovery. So outside of South Carolina, I mean, what's the other team in the SEC that you may...
With 11.
Well, they can play out of that big three, man. Watch out. They're zoning right now. They run out by Charlie.
As Dupree, that finds the bottom. He had 7 points against Mississippi State.
All that I take advice from.
Oh. Okay, well, boy, that's a lot on my shoulders. I have
10% coming in, but he found the range. He's been the only Lion to find the range so far tonight.
Smart stares down at Awumi. Back up top, James goes back to work, steps into a three-point shot.
Castleton the board. There seems to be new vigor to the offensive possessions for Florida.
Yeah, it's more sporadic too. And now I think it's just too late in the shot clock. You have to just play it straight up.
Appleby nearly took a tumble. Now Thomas steals it away.
That is where
Ellis misses from the baseline. Cam Thomas feeling it.
He can score a man. He's in some great company. Only 4 guys in the
3-point lead, 2:50 to go here in half number 1 of the SEC title game. Quinterly's speed denied there at the rim. That was Hyatt. He became a high-octane scorer, leaving the school that's produced the likes of Kevin Durant and Carmelo Anthony as the leading scorer. But he took a year off from basketball during his high school.
Thomas, that trio, they all average more than 16 a game. Boy, Mark Smith got his hand caught. It looked like on the net on the way up. Thomas scores it.
As he's playing here, but this is where your effort pays off. I mean, that's an easy two that you send a 50% free throw shooter to the line. Those are those hidden plays that just saved LSU 2 points.
Yep.
Vanderbilt coming off of an impressive win on Saturday against Ole Miss. Late shot clock, and it won't go. Vandy's bench outscored Ole Miss 39-4.
More impressive of a victory for this Vanderbilt squad.
It's very similar to how Vandy closed Stack's first year. Won their last 2 regular season games heading into the NCAA to push that to 92 feet. And it turns into an LSU turnover. Here's Maxwell Evans. Couldn't finish on a nice move. And then a reach-in foul on Cleavon Brown.
But I will say this as a player, former player, would I rather go play a game or go to practice for a couple days? I think I'd rather get on a plane and bus.
Way to setting the scoring record. Pistol Pete missed 7 straight shots. And that old camera had one of those revolving flashes at the top of it. And by the time Pistol Pete
and active defensively, I think it's a tough matchup for anybody in the country. I think they're a good enough rebounding team. We know at times defensively they're not, but let's just take a one and done.
23rd point of the night. Watford with the block.
Before he had a beautiful no-look pass. Here it is Well, you see Trenton Walford right now over the top of the screen, and then watch Gaines. He's very patient and poised, and then off of the screen, a nice no-look pass.
About their third foul now on Darius Days.
Yeah, and right now, believe it or not, the defense is actually turning up for both of these teams. And the reason...
Extra pass, Tate, three, no good. Rebound again to LSU and Thomas.
Now the Arkansas wonder how well they've done of shaking that Alabama win off of their system. Not easy to do coming off of a big win.
Nope, cold start for the Razorbacks. Moody 0 for 3.
You've said wild, you've said hard, you've said bad in describing LSU's shot selection so far in this game. Keep it rolling. Creative descriptions by you, and they've done all three of those.
I can do that.
Best type of ball in this league. Kentucky, yes, Kentucky as of right now, and LSU would be number 5. No Missouri, no Tennessee.
Moody lost it and walked.
All the same things we've said about LSU all season long playing out now in the second half. And Ravi, I will tell you this. Whatever your team's issue has been in the regular season will be the reason you get knocked out in.
Remember, Alabama 13-2 in the conference. Arkansas 10-4. Going to win this game.
The Bulldogs coming off of a 7-point loss in Gainesville against Florida. They're in that game late, just couldn't close it out. LSU went over 100 for the first time in an SEC game since 1994.
But he's not one of the guys that only catches and shoots it. He puts it on the floor, makes it tough for bigs to defend it.
Fagan off the mark in the corner. We'll talk about Georgia's real estate and getting to the Kyer to Horn. Nothing doing. Tried to go over the top of Days.
And when Georgia's playing its best and winning games,
Thomas left it short. Thomas is 3 for 10 in this game. Here's Fagan again. Thomas. Katie Johnson from deep. Georgia just 3 of 16 from 3, yet up 13.
I know we are as well. Our thoughts and prayers go out to his family.
Shot off the mark for Sam Houston State. Couple misses from Bryce Monroe, the freshman point guard, and now a corner 3, and that one kicks off the rim. Here's Cameron Thomas to push it for the Tigers, and he gets fouled on the open floor first. And he said those are games where we've really got to be playing great basketball because that's as they get ramped up for conference play. Trailing by
in different ways and different finishes, floaters around the rim, fade away, sometimes off the incorrect foot. He's just a naturally gifted scorer.
Thomas with the rebound. Freshman out of Chesapeake. NCAA record against Ole Miss with 13 games to go in the regular season. John Brady, the former LSU head coach, was at that game. Grew up in Mississippi, drove down with a...
He's taken that discipline, that drive, that commitment to a whole different level, and shortly will be getting paid handsomely for his skill set.
Javonte Smart, 16 for him.
It's Covey, and it's the Orange that control the tip.
And Ravi, that Tennessee starting lineup, though, they've only played 82 possessions this year, but 97 points, almost 1 point.
That finds the bottom. He had 7 points against Mississippi State. All came in the first 4 minutes of the second half. Only his 7th career start.
Yeah, I got good. The white jerseys are making it a foot race to the ball, and you have to be able to make the next pass.
Tough shot.
Yeah. Tough, bad, hard. Keep on describing it. That's what it was.
Here, Iverson Molinar. Shot clock is under 10. He'll launch. Boy, it would be big for LSU if they can compete on the glass.
And LSU showing as a 10 seed, but if they can get their act together, there's nobody that wants to play against the talent that the Tigers have.
O'Neal available for LSU tonight either. Molinar. I think that might be the 3rd air ball of the night for Iverson.
things about his numbers, Victor Thomas. The fact that he's shooting better than 50% from the floor. That's taken away. And the layup won't go for Kasperzik. He'll take the three, looking for his fourth one. It does not go. Tigers on the move here. Contact, late pass.
Louisiana Tech harassment turnover. Here comes Lewis.
Yeah, Days with the fumble down low. You don't see that often, and Locke finishing it up.
Little short, Thomas wins it.
But that's exactly.
Locke, the probing dribble, Lee for DeRougie. Locke, a shooter. He got his man in the air, floated up. Watford contests and gets a piece. He's slow to get a
2-on-1.
Smart.
Taking that shot. He could have driven to the basket possibly, but I still like the fact that he can make that shot.
Lewis misses point blank, and Thomas has the ball. Down 8, a little over a minute.
There you go. Good.
All 12 coming from
Football guy, but he ends up playing basketball at LSU. They've missed their last 2 threes. If you haven't seen much of Alabama this year, get used to it. They'll throw 30 of those up per
play. And that's exactly what Wu Wade told me yesterday. He said he uses football in a positive manner. He's great bringing recruits in on a great football.
That's with 11.
Well, they get play out of that big three, man. Watch out. They're zoning right now. Great run out by Charlie Taltai's skills. He's playing a little zone right here. Staying in a zone. Got a match up out of it.
Quinterly smart, breaks down Gary, the floater, too strong. Watford had his hand on it, but it's Petty who comes away with it. He finds Hyatt. That ball is blocked by Jones. Oh, what a play by Watford. He got fouled and is able to throw it in.
He's got great hand. I'll tell you, kids out there, he's playing with what I call the 4 Ds of life. He's got desire, dedication, determination, and discipline, a body and mind. And he wants it. When you want...
And his leg lacked a little bit of that explosiveness, but as Nate Oates said, we are as close to 100% as we've been. That was prior to the Josh Primo injury.
Rafi, LSU will go man-to-man. They'll go 1-3-1 some, 2-2-1 to a 2-3 zone, and then into a man. None of them are outstanding. They change it up to try to keep on. You cannot get mismatched in transition like Arkansas just did. Vanover cannot handle Trendon Watford in the middle part of the floor and make to be had.
They left him alone again. Moody.
74-71.
Arkansas. Quick two, Jimmy. Is that what you're doing here? Uh-oh, a lost ball. Gaines of all people.
Mizzou's gotten some close looks. Haven't been able to convert at such a high rate. Then on the third effort.
Wilkinson's given them some really good minutes, brought a ton of energy. 6 points. At least they get their legs back under them. I could see A&M as sloppy as they can make the game on opponents in a neutral court environment, seeing if they can't win a couple games.
And the first time they played 3 true road games in 1 week since 1960. And those were all conference matchups. Kids would just understand that if you stick with it and you allow yourself to grow, good things can happen, as opposed to so many. For all but 27 seconds in the first half, they scored 1.35 points per possession with the second half by Vandy. They've scored 41 points after only 24 in the first half. Studi. Got it.
Extra pass. Tate. 3. No.
Arkansas's best when they're getting that ball at the second to third side of the floor.
LSU playing like they're up 15 when in fact it's Arkansas and they grab the rebound.
3 purple transition defense or half-court defense, all the same things we've said about LSU all season long, playing out now in the second half. And Ravi, I will tell you this.
Georgia 4 of 10 to start this.
He had a shot, had a 3, ball fakes it, gets to the lane, could have shot it, makes an assist to a teammate.
Geyer from deep.
Team.
Cam Thomas left it short. Thomas is 3 for 10 in this game. Here's Fagan again.
This ball game, 4 rebounds. He's got 6 double-doubles on the season, which ties him in this league with Jeremiah Tillman, Tolu Smith, hands. I mean, it's kind of a soft, nothing aggressive. Every pass is easy to make by this Georgia team against the defense.
The team for a good chunk of the early part of the season. They'd see him coming on the floor when they were walking off the floor, working with athletic trainers and such. Cooper on the floor again.
Go down. But Cooper, to your point, wasn't able to practice, wasn't able to work out, wasn't able to be part of team meetings. And then just to be dropped in, and they've got to clean up their glass. Again, it's not just the points you're giving up, but your inability to hurt you to run is easily. Although they're running now on makes, they do that.
And just a one-on-one blow by Javonte Smart, a big, strong, physical guard.
on Fulkerson. He's got 2 here within the first 30 seconds of being on the floor.
Yeah, well, you consider he's only scored 4 points in the last 2 games, Fulky. So
Yep.
Rick Barnes says,
There on the defensive end. That's going to be a key, according to Will Wade, how we rebound, especially on the defensive end. Tennessee will crash to try to get.
Rabbi, it's as active and as engaged and as tough as LSU's been this season defensively. It has gone the last 2 possessions. He's come with it.
Olivier Kamwa into the game. He was on the receiving end of that dish. And lead now 7. Thomas, tough.
LSU's in a lot of double up action. That time it was Watford and Days. Call it high horns, whatever. I call it double up. And a lot of good stuff happens. That play up, get on top of him. If he back cuts and makes a 2, so be it. But you cannot let him run into a handoff 3. Usually you're going to have to continue to knock down those open looks without hesitation.
Great touch from Watford on the baseline.
Not a lot of patience with those type plays as 10 and orange sits.
And 2 at 4 against Missouri. Should be an interesting test for the Razorbacks.
Wait, Herb Jones transferred to Arkansas. Told several people that the one thing he would change as a coach if he could do it again is to play zone on baseline, out of bounds under, just to take away all that time.
There's no doubt in my mind.
Won the 31 tournament titles. No one else is even close. Herb Jones thought about a 3, spins right into what?
And look at the hustle, man. Look at the hustle. He kicks it out front, loses his footing, just throws it up. Diving for the ball.
Now that's when Tillman sits with 4. Wilkinson. That's why that field goal percentage.
Yeah, it's just incredible what he's been able to do, and so consistent for LSU this season. A complete 3-level score.
Evans pulls it back and gives it up. You mentioned his big game last year against LSU with 31-25. Kentucky trying to come back on Ole Miss tonight. They've been playing with some momentum. What a move. Wow. And a finish by Max.
So much. He kind of knows his team, so he just tries to see which one's going to work. Maybe a little full court pressure, a little 1-3-1, but on a 32% 3-point shooting percentage. He's played extremely well today, averages 4 points a game, and you got to think about that.
On the offensive glass, you don't see that very often, do you? Kyer steps through and draws a foul on Trendon and Kyer, and you bring an offensive-minded Katie Johnson on the floor. Now all of a sudden you got some weapons. Here's Thomas after the takeaway.
I did some early shopping this year.
Has 3. That finds the bottom. He had 7 points against Mississippi State.
That Tennessee offense now looks different with 11:45 back on it.
Good job. Springer worked himself to the
pool that I take advice from.
Oh. Okay, well, boy, that's a lot on my shoulders.
They're going to continue to get the opportunities because, again, they're driving into the paint. The white jerseys are making it a foot race to the ball, and you have to be able to make the next pass.
12 challenge against Texas Tech. Davon Smith.
That was the Lions' 4th turnover, and the 2nd time now we've seen Days take a quick, long-range 3-pointer.
Continuing program success if you're LSU, bringing in that kind of talent that knows how to get the job done. Step inside, a drive right, finds a little bit of a lane, and some point shots between these two teams so far tonight. 44-32, LSU is on top by 12. Inside, using the body and trying to avoid.
Will Wade has backed his press off, and now it's a true half-court press, trying to keep that ball above the free throw line. But again, one shot.
Up top to Rugy. He had the 3 to send us to halftime, and he coughs it up on the drive. Castleton the board. There seems to be new vigor to the offensive possessions for Florida.
Yeah, it's more sporadic.
Playing aggressive defense is when you force turnovers, you get on the offensive board, you block shots, you force deflections. When you're doing that, you're playing very aggressively, and that would scare me if I'm Will Wade.
The MCL sprain. They move it to Shackelford. He started out the game with a couple of threes. Can't get that to go. Jones hustles after it, but it's LSU, and they got a man Hyatt ahead of the field. 14 to lead the Tide.
Not only today, yesterday as well. You know, Crowd, he's been a star. He's going to be a candidate for maybe MVP of the tournament.
Watford, that time. He has it now. Gets double teamed. Nice pass underneath Henderson, and he throws it behind Smith. So things have gotten a little sloppy in the last few minutes. So is the defense. And arrow goes to Arkansas. Good job by Devo Davis wrapping up Watford.
Arkansas really bogged down in this game in their half-court offense. Moody only 5 points in the second half after 20 in the first.
Could go down here at home.
Nichols 5, Cam Thomas 5, 90 seconds in. Ty Gordon wearing number 0, who leads the Colonels in scoring, turns it over.
Fagan and Kyer, and you bring an offensive-minded Katie Johnson on the floor. Now all of a sudden you got some weapons. Here's Thomas after the takeaway. Nearly walked.
He bodies him up. He gets the bump on Tolu Smith, who flops. And to me, I'm waiting for Tolu Smith to run down the court next to me and say, "Get your weight up, quit flopping. Bet refs aren't going to bail you." Like you could.
Cam Williams, awkward pass just in front of him, a quick spin, a path to the basket, and a strip, and the Tigers take it right back as the Cougars foul him before they can do anything. Walk the Cougars over the line, and Isaiah James goes to work. Far side for Shamar Wright, telegraph pass. Cameron Thomas has trouble with it at the basket.
You see Sarr down low, and they're trying to go to him again. That time he had that ball knocked away on a quick hands from Cameron Thomas.
Locked man.
Yeah, now I think it's just too late in the shot clock. You have to just play it straight up.
Appleby nearly took a tumble. Now Thomas steals it away. Thomas lays it home.
Within the offense to get in early.
Over the top of most defenses. He leads the team in assists.
Days trying to cap off a three-point play.
That's a real fun piece of the puck.
Missed everything.
Good defense by Georgia.
It was over.
Yeah. The economy of the arcade room went down. Herb Jones pounces on a loose basketball. Sixth Bama turnover.
The message has clearly been sent by Alabama. Coach Wade doesn't need to send it anymore.
Alabama started this game by hitting 8 of its first 9 threes. The score is not entirely indicative of what.
McClung has missed both of his threes. Tried to work it inside. Deflected by the Tigers. Here's Javante Smart. Turn fadeaway. And a hold inside on O'Neal. It's going to be charged to freshman Micah Peavy.
Obviously the dunk there, but you love the aggression.